Everything that she brought to that moment is something that I feel like so many women can relate to.
Did he try anything?
No.
Hi, I'm Chloe Dumont, director of Fair Play. I'm gonna watch the key scene in the film and break it down shot by shot.
So? What did Rory want?
He wasn't there.
So this was actually the first scene that came to me when I sat down to write the script. This was a scene that really felt like, okay, I have a movie here and something that needs to be put on screen, which is the idea that Emily gets the promotion and her first feeling isn't excitement, it's fear. Because she doesn't know how her male partner is going to react and what this is going to cost her in terms of her relationship. It's that feeling that I really wanted to put on screen and kind of shine a light on the emotional terror of that situation.
I met Campbell.
You met Campbell? At 2 in the morning?
When we were shooting the scene, the framing of it, everything, I wanted it to reflect the emotional state that she's in. When she finally walks through the door and sees Luke on the couch, the way that we wanted to frame her behind his shoulder, I wanted her to, again, feel very small in the frame. So the shots that are over Luke's shoulder as she's hesitating and she doesn't know how to tell him, he's very big in the frame, he's very dominant, and she's very small and looking away, and she doesn't even want to make eye contact. And I felt like the film language of that really spoke to what she was feeling inside.
Emily. Did he try anything?
No.
And then in terms of the sound design, I wanted the apartment to be like almost like uncomfortably quiet, except for low tones that would come in and out. So like the subway, like when he stands up and he doesn't know, because she's being cagey in terms of his perspective. So he starts to put all these ideas together in his head of what he thinks happened. And in that moment, we had the subway come in. It fills that silence in a really uncomfortable way. And you feel it more in your stomach almost before you even hear it.
He's promoting me to PM. I'm taking over for Quinn.
And then I told my sound designers to use some of like horror tropes, adding in the floor creaks as he's coming towards her. It escalates the tension in that moment.
That's amazing.
I'm sorry.
Come on. I'm so happy for you.
And in terms of the performance, I just feel like, I mean, Phoebe just captured how I've personally felt in dynamics like this. The fact that also she first apologizes for her success. She apologizes for something that she should be celebrating. I think that just shows us, you know, where we're at in terms of gender dynamics. And I just feel like everything that she brought to that moment is something that I feel like so many women can relate to. You know, this feeling of having to kind of undermine themselves to protect their relationship.
Come here. I was scared.
This scene is exactly what I set out to explore in terms of Luke's character, that Luke's character, you know, represents a certain generation of men caught in the middle between wanting to adhere to a modern feminist society, but still having been raised on traditional ideas of masculinity. And his reaction in that moment, it encompasses that struggle and that, you know, of those two opposing things. Going into it, I thought it was gonna be one of the hardest things to get, but Alden, I mean, he just fucking nailed it, and, you know, and I think the first or second take. This scene is the reason I made this film, you know, and what I wanted to explore in terms of these dynamics and where we're at. There's just still this feeling out there that a woman's accomplishment can sometimes feel like a poor reflection of a man's self-worth, that those two things are so linked in a way, and I just feel like it's not anything that any of us talk about. We just feel and we push down and we normalize it. Be sure to watch Fair Play, only on Netflix.